Good morning, everyone. My name is Manasvi Bisht. Today, I'll be presenting on the topic Role of Bureaucratic Elites in Policy Formation, a case study approach. In this presentation, we will explore how bureaucratic elites shape policy making processes with examples drawn from both India and the United States. We usually think that elected politicians design policies, but in reality, bureaucratic elites, that is, top civil servants and technocrats, play a crucial role behind the scenes. They help formulate, structure, and often even revise major policies. As Harold Laswell famously said, the study of politics is the study of who gets what, when, and how. And bureaucrats heavily influence the how in policy making. In this presentation, I aim to highlight their functions, influences, and challenges using a case study approach. To understand the role of bureaucratic elites, we must first look at three theoretical frameworks. First, Max Weber's theory of bureaucracy, where bureaucracies are structured hierarchically and operate on the basis of expertise and formal rules. Second, elite theory. C. Wright Mills suggested that a small, powerful group controls decisions, and bureaucrats form an important part of this elite. Third, principal agent theory. It shows how bureaucrats, with their information advantage over elected leaders, often shape policy choices beyond simple instructions. Bureaucratic elites contribute at multiple stages. They provide expert advice based on technical knowledge. They ensure continuity across different political governments, offering stability. They serve in an advisory capacity, conducting research, drafting policies, and coordinating with other agencies. Lastly, even during implementation, they influence outcomes through on ground adjustments, creating a feedback loop for further policy improvements. For example, during the COVID 19 pandemic, bureaucrats across the world helped governments devise lockdowns, vaccine rollouts, and economic recovery plans. Let's take India as our first case study. The Indian Administrative Service IAS officers are the real drivers of administration and policy making at both state and national levels. Institutions like Niti Aayog, a government think tank, depend heavily on bureaucratic inputs to design economic and social policies. For instance, the rollout of the Goods and Services Tax (GST) was an extremely complex process. Senior IS officers negotiated between the center and states, harmonizing different interests to bring a unified tax regime. Now, turning to the United States, the Office of Management and Budget (OMB) is a critical player in policy formulation. Beyond budgetary oversight, the OMB scrutinizes new regulations, ensuring they align with the President's policy agenda. A key example is the Affordable Care Act. The OMB was deeply involved in evaluating cost and suggesting policy changes to make the act feasible. Every year, the OMB handles over 1,500 regulatory reviews, underlining how bureaucratic review shapes US governance. Comparing India and the US, we find notable differences. In India, bureaucrats are typically generalists, transferred across sectors, while in the US, they are often specialists recruited for particular agencies. The Indian system emphasizes career based security, ensuring autonomy, while in the US, there is a higher number of political appointees. This is difference, and this difference affects how flexible and responsive the bureaucratic structures are in each country. However, bureaucratic elites also face a significant criticism. There's the danger of technocracy, where unelected officials hold too much power, distancing policy making from citizens. Bureaucratic systems can become rigid and resistant to innovation, and at times, politicization compromises neutrality and professionalism. Solutions include introducing greater transparency, performance linked incentives, and public engagement in governance process. In conclusion, bureaucratic elites are not just implementers, they are co creators of policy. Their expertise and institutional knowledge are indispensable for effective governance. But to ensure healthy democracies, their power must be checked through accountability mechanisms. As we face global challenges like climate change, pandemics, and digital transformation, the partnership between elected leaders and skilled bureaucrats will be even more crucial. Thank you and have a nice day.